If you were to say winners and losers, can we recap some of the draft picks in the first round, just kind of go through the 32 picks, and we'll take a look at the teams that we thought maybe did the best job. So we started off, Cam Ward, the big surprise early on was the Jaguars trading up with the Browns to take Travis Hunter. Abdul Carter goes 3. Maybe he's going to wear the 56. Good journalism from you. Will Campbell at 4. Mason Graham at 5. Genty, the first and one of 2 running backs taken. Membu, that was a big surprise too. Yeah. Tet to the Panthers definitely caught us off guard. Kelvin Banks and Colston Loveland, the tight end, going before Tyler Warren to the Indianapolis Colts. Then we can look at 11 through 20. 11, we started off, I know the Cowboys were at 12. They took the offensive lineman Tyler Booker. That blew us away in the short stint that we talked to him. And that will come up eventually. There we go. Michael Williams, the edge setter for the San Francisco 49ers. Dolphins go D-line. Tyler Warren. Jalen Walker fell to the Falcons at 15. Walter Nolan joins Jonathan Gannon, the defensive-minded coach for the Arizona Cardinals. What a Bengals pick that was. And Shamar Stewart. Gray Zabel can play all the line for the Seattle Seahawks. And Emeka Egbuka was a surprise there. Second half there, Derek Harmon goes to the Steelers. Omarion Hampton, Golden, Jackson, and Dart there, the trade up, the big surprise. Pierce, the Falcons get their second first-round pick. Then Malachi Starks, Tyreek Williams, Josh Connerly, Hairston, and then the Eagles took Jihad and then Josh Simmons. Slay, why don't I give you a first crack? Who was your big winner tonight?
I think the big winner tonight was, for me, is the Denver Broncos. Because I think they got a player they already was a great defense, but I think that defense really going to be off the charts just because of the fact that this guy they got is very versatile. And I like
Jahdae Barron.
Yeah, I love versatile corners. And I think he'll be a difference maker for that team.
What do we think is your big winner?
I'm split. I'm split between New York and I'm going to say New York and Atlanta.
So the 2 teams that traded back up to get a second first-round pick.
Yeah, I always like aggressiveness. And if you're going to win now and you want to win now and you say we have the team to win now, this is how you do it. You know what I mean? You don't sit back and you wait. If you believe in a guy and you got a guy, you take the guy. I think, obviously, Abdul, no favoritism, but you just match that up. And then you don't know what type of draft capital they'll get if they do decide to move on from Thibodeau. You don't know. So, it would make even more sense, if they get capital back from Thibodeau and they just, like I said, they've reset the market with him. They don't got to worry about paying him. They don't got to worry about anything like that. And you have a premier rusher that can be pretty much better than Thibodeau at this point, early on. And their D-line just goes monstrous, you know what I mean? And then I would say Atlanta just because, this is a team who ranked 31st in pass rush, didn't get to the quarterback a lot. And you get 2 premier guys that can get after a quarterback on the ball, off the ball, doesn't matter. You add some versatility. Young, those 2 guys for me those 2 teams for me did a great job. And then, did we do losers?
Let's just stay positive for a second. Renner, what's your winner?
I like Atlanta. I like Micah's point that the 2 most highest paid positions in the NFL, they don't have to pay for the next 4 years. Quarterback, defense, edge rusher. They are clean there with rookie contracts. But I'll go a little bit off the beaten path. I love what the Browns did, not drafting Travis Hunter at 2. They got so much in return in terms of draft capital. And it's not as if they traded back and got like some guy where it's like, he could be okay. I think Mason Graham has Pro Bowl, All-Pro potential. He's a darn good football player that if Travis Hunter didn't exist, they could have taken that number 2 overall, right? So they got that. They got next year's first rounder. They got a top of the second rounder. They gave themselves a ton of flexibility. So I love what they did, taking that lottery ticket and basically turning it into a lot of different pieces.
I'm going to go Baltimore, Malachi Starks. Yeah. Just one of those picks where all of a sudden their defensive game plan comes very clear. And what that's going to unlock for Kyle Hamilton and what's that going to unlock for everybody else is pretty darn special. Why don't you go losers first?
Mine has to be the Chicago Bears. I just completely don't understand.
Colston Loveland at 10.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Yes.
For a top 10 pick, I'm thinking Brock Bowers. You could say Kyle Pitts, but just a guy that you don't truly know about that said, hey, we gave him the ball a little bit more because everybody else sucks. He's not considered a run tight end, so you got to package it. You got to stay in a certain personnel. That's what makes Brock unique. You know what I mean? That's why you would spend a top 10 pick on a a guy like that because he's great at run blocking. He's great creating separation. I just don't see that at Loveland. I don't see why, there are so many other players where you could get great value, even if it's like, we don't need him, but we're adding depth. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see him being better than, a lot of these other guys who I can see being future Pro Bowlers or, all-pro players down the line.
Slays, a team that maybe you didn't have the best reaction to?
I mean, he took the one I was thinking too, just because I think not to say the tight end is not a very, very important position. It's just that I feel like you can find great tight ends, second day two guys. If I feel like if I went top 10 for a tight end, it got to be I don't know. He got to be able to do everything.
Right.
I couldn't have no pass game at all. He got to come change the whole pass game. Like the Raiders took Buddy, they feel like they knew they were going to lose Devontae Adams.
Right.
So they knew that. I feel like they got a thing that's set over there. So I feel the same way about them.
What do you think, Renner? Who's yours?
I think it's the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, they took a guard, 24 overall. I thought it was a little bit of a reach. The offensive line run had kind of passed them by. I thought Connerly is a much higher potential player than him. And they only have 4 draft picks this entire draft. They have the least draft capital of anyone in the NFL. And the two teams behind them traded for a lot more draft capital. You had the Texans move back and get a couple of third-rounders. You had the Rams move back and get a future first. You could have made that move and maybe still got a good guard at one of those picks, but you just stood pat, and now you really can't add more to this roster in this draft.
I don't really have a loser. I don't know. I'm trying to
I was looking like it's hard. It's like it wasn't that bad of the draft. Like it wasn't that bad because
there weren't. Okay, I'll say one, and I don't know how you guys are going to react to it. I'm going to say the Tampa Bay Bucks. I know y'all love Micah Parsons, and I understand what we're doing here, but I don't know. I just thought they had some huge holes on their O-line and their D-line, and I did not think wide receiver was that big of a need. That was just my thing where I kind of thought you could address other issues there, but he's a wide receiver who could be good. But I'll just say this, and I mean it. I have fun every year doing this with y'all. Slay, thank you for joining us this year, man. It was great having your energy.
Appreciate the invite.
I love the fact that when these young guys see you guys, they light up. And what you guys brought out of them was awesome. I suddenly now care about Tyler Booker. What you guys were able to get out of Abdul Carter was really special. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you, everybody, for watching at home. Renner, way to kick ass again, man. Awesome stuff.
Pretty good.
Micah, any final words for tonight?
Cowboys got better. That's all I'm excited about. Go Cowboys.
Boo.
Boo.
We will be back